Hey y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. I am going to show you guys how to make the most delicious chicken salad that my family and friends go crazy for. No matter what occasion it is, whether it's a baby shower, because y'all know they love the chicken salad at the baby shower, or if it's just a family get together or a birthday, a picnic, people love when I make my chicken salad. So I'm going to show you guys how I easily throw this together. This is one of those recipes where, yes, you could have some measurements, but at the end of the day, honey, I am doing this by filling. All right, because the amount of chicken that you have and the amount of chicken that I use could be totally different. And plus, everyone just has their own taste. So there's really no right or wrong way to approach this. I'm going to cut up 2 ribs of celery as well as about a fourth of a red onion. This is actually a sweet red onion, so it's not as tangy as your typical onion is. I'm also going to be cutting up some bread and butter pickles. Now, I know some of y'all gonna be my comments talking about, girl, pickles in the chicken salad. Honey, what do you think relish is? Relish and bread and butter pickles are pretty much the same thing. They're sugar cucumbers. So I don't have relish, so I'm not going to go out and buy something special just for a little chicken salad. I'm going to cut up these bread and butter pickles and voila, now you have relish. No one's going to know. Then I'm going to use some walnuts, but you could also use almonds or pecans. And I'm going to chop these to like a medium rough chop. Now, of course, if you got nut allergies, don't even play with this. Okay, we're not trying to put the EpiPen on you, baby. One of the things that sets my chicken salad apart from the rest is that I love to add fresh herbs. In this case, I'm going to use some dill because I have dill in my fridge. And if you don't know, dill is one of the main herbs that's in ranch. So this does pair well with anything you're going to use, mayo or yogurt or whatever that is. Now, I'm only using a tiny amount today because I have a green goddess dressing that already has some other herbs in it that I'm going to use. Now, if I wasn't using that dressing, I would use a lot more. I would use dill and a good amount of parsley. But this dressing has parsley, cilantro, and a bit of dill, garlic, lemon juice, some kefir, and some yogurt already in it. So it's already blended up. I make this dressing and just eat it on like grain bowls during the week, but you can buy green goddess dressing, or if you watched my video where I made that kefir ranch, you could use that in this recipe and that would be really delicious. I'm also going to add a little bit of Dijon mustard as well as some QP mayo and some Greek yogurt. Because I don't want to go too heavy on the mayo, the Greek yogurt balances it out. I'm going to season this up with some lemon pepper, some lemon garlic pepper, that's a no salt version, a bit of Creole seasoning, as well as some raisins. You could also use craisins. Oh my goodness, that is so good. And Trader Joe's also has these no sugar dried cranberries. I absolutely love to use those too. I like to mix the chunky add-ins and like the sauce before I add my chicken just so I can taste the seasoning a bit easier. Of course, you could put the chicken in first, but y'all, I'm a pro. Okay, you know I'm a pro home cook. So I can have a good feeling of what everything's going to taste like once the chicken is added. I felt like it needed a little bit more sweetness and a bit more acidity. So I added in about a half a teaspoon of honey and about a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar, but you could also use lemon juice. My chicken is a rotisserie chicken, baby. I busted down Costco and I got me one of these $5 beauties. Of course, you can make your chicken from the scratch, but why should you? Because it's all going to end up tasting the same in a recipe like this. So take off that skin and any maybe excess fat that could be hanging around. And I am only going to use the white meat today. However, you could use the thigh meat and the legs. And as you can see, them wings been gone. Okay, the moment I got home from Costco, I ate them wings for lunch. All right, so I'm going to take off this breast meat and then I'm going to cut it into some nice chunks. I do know some people really like that shredded, almost tuna salad feeling chicken salad. You know how when the chicken is just very, very small and piecey. I will eat that, but I don't prefer it. But if you like that, what you can do is cut your chicken off and then rip it into small strips. Or you can take a handheld mixer and you can beat the chicken breast and it will break it up and shred it just like that. However, today I'm going to do everything my preferred way, which is to cut it into some chunks. So I'm going to make about a ½ inch or so chunks, and then some of the pieces I may shred just a little bit just to give it a bit of texture. Let me know in the comments what your favorite chicken salad recipe is and what is the secret to your chicken salad, if you can tell me. I know y'all can tell me because I tell y'all all of my kitchen secrets. Okay, now mine of course is a little bit of fresh herbs, but you let me know what you love. Now if you don't like that herby taste in your chicken salad, then what you can do is not use the green goddess dressing and just add a little bit extra mayo and yogurt and just a little bit of parsley, and that will be fine. Y'all know you can just cook to your own taste because ain't nobody gonna boss you around in your kitchen. Once I finish preparing my chicken, I'm going to add it into the mix and I'm going to adjust my seasonings. Now, y'all, once I added in everything, baby, the only thing I felt like I wanted a little more of was those red onions. Because these red onions, they're called like rubies red onions, so they really don't have that bite to them. I felt like I wanted a stronger onion flavor. And them jokers is like $2 a pound for some onions. That's some real expensive onions, but that's the only ones they had at the store. So that's what I went with, okay? There's a lot of ways you can serve this up that would be really good, but my favorite way, y'all, the G code, is to take some chicken salad and you put it on a nice buttery soft croissant. Now that is some good eating. Now what I like to do is cut some mini croissants open. Then I get a little ice cream scoop and I put my chicken salad inside. And this makes a very quick lunch, an easy dinner, and something good for when you're on the go. You guys have to stop paying $250 for them groceries, but then turn around and order in DoorDash because you don't feel like cooking anymore because you've been shopping all day. What you do is you make you something easy like this little chicken salad before you go out. And then you wrap it up, put it in a little lunchbox with a little cooler, and that's what you have for lunch or dinner. So you don't got to do too much. I also really like eating this with a piece of toasted Ezekiel bread, especially if I'm trying to cut out like the white carbs and stuff like that, or just on a bed of lettuce. Let me know how you like to eat your chicken salad and if you are going to try this chicken salad recipe. And when you do, tell me how much you love it. I'll see you next time. Goodbye and God bless.